everyone. Welcome back to English Learning Podcast. How are you doing? I'm Julia.
And I'm Chad. Thanks for joining us today. We're diving into a topic that affects literally everyone at some point or another, self-motivation. Or as I like to call it, fuel from within.
I love that. Because let's face it, there are times when no one's cheering you on and the only thing keeping you going is, well, you. So how do we tap into that inner drive? Where does it come from and how do we keep it alive?
Good questions. Let's unpack that. You ready?
Let's go.
Julia, how do you describe self-motivation?
To me, it's that internal push to do something because it matters to you. Not because someone's watching or giving you a reward. It's about doing things that align with your values or your goals.
Right. That's the key, intrinsic drive. Let me explain this. It's about finding joy in the tasks themselves rather than relying solely on external reward. So, it's not about gold stars or applause. It's about knowing why you're doing something, and that being enough to keep going.
Exactly. And that why doesn't have to be grand. Sometimes it's as simple as wanting to grow, improve, or prove to yourself that you can. But let me ask you, do you think self-motivation is something people are born with, or can it be developed?
Good question. I think it's a mix. Some people are naturally more driven, but it's definitely something you can train, like a muscle. You just need the right tools and mindset.
Agreed. And I think we underestimate how much our environment and mindset affect that internal engine. So how do we cultivate that inner fire? Is it just positive self-talk?
I believe positive self-talk is definitely something we all need. It's best to replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations for encouragement. It could be a good start, or keep you pushing all the way to your goal.
To you, what is a good start then?
For me, it starts with clarity. I write down my why. Like, why does this matter? When I internalize my why, it becomes personal and powerful. Then, I sometimes challenge myself with short-term goals. Big goals can be overwhelming, but when you break them down, each small win builds confidence.
I see. Small wins fuel long-term momentum. But what if those short-term goals start to feel meaningless?
Then I reconnect with the bigger picture. It's like zooming in and out. Short-term tasks keep you moving, but the long-term vision keeps you grounded.
I love that, zooming in and out. For me, a growth mindset is also something I prioritize and it keeps me continuously learning. How do I explain this? It's like I'm always open-minded and curious, and I embrace challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, rather than viewing them as threats.
Great. The way I see it, it's similar to understanding what makes your goal fulfilling. It's about finding a sense of meaning and aligning your goals with your values.
You're right. So in order to reach these achievements, I also need time management and self-discipline. And together I turn them into consistent habits. Let's not underestimate the power of habits. Even tiny routines build mental stamina over time.
Absolutely. Like working out. I don't always feel like it, but it's a non-negotiable in my schedule. Over time, it becomes automatic.
That's what people mean when they say, discipline over inspiration. Show up first. The motivation will follow.
Discipline really is the backbone of progress. But staying motivated is hard, right? Sometimes life gets messy. We start off our goals shiny and exciting, but that initial spark fades along the way. Sometimes quicker than we realize.
So true. Why do you think that happens?
I think a big part of it is clarity, like I mentioned earlier. If you lose sight of your purpose, or if the goal feels too big or vague, it's easy to fall off the wagon. So, it's important to have clear goals and understand their deeper meaning.
Also, sometimes we imagine results in our head before we actually start doing the work. That's when perfectionism creeps in and suddenly nothing feels good enough to begin.
Oh yeah, perfectionism is a motivation killer. You end up paralyzed instead of progressing. And let's not forget emotional burnout. Sometimes it's not about laziness, it's about mental exhaustion.
Exactly. That's why I always say, don't chase constant motivation. It's not a switch that stays on.
Totally. It fluctuates like energy. So, motivation isn't about feeling hyped all the time. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you're not excited. All right, moving along, let's give our listeners some concrete strategies.
Sure. First one, the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you only need to work on something for 5 minutes. More often than not, you'll keep going.
It's also best to eliminate distractions. Seriously, turn off notifications, clean your space, and make your environment work for you.
Yes. And keep track of your progress. Use visual reminders, like a checklist or habit tracker, to stay engaged.
You also need to reward yourself. It's not for every little task, but for consistency. Rewarding effort reinforces behavior, even if the result isn't perfect.
Absolutely. And one last thing, talk to yourself like you would to a friend. Self-compassion is underrated, but it's proven to help with emotional exhaustion.
For real. Sometimes we're our own worst critics, and that drains motivation fast. So be your own coach.
So what's the big takeaway today?
That motivation is a wave. It comes and goes. But if you have clarity, growth mindset, habits, and self-compassion, you can keep moving even when the wave dips.
Yep. Motivation is just one tool in the box. Discipline, purpose, and small actions. Those are the real MVPs.
Couldn't agree more. So to everyone listening, don't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. Start small. Start now. The spark often comes after you start moving.
And we want to hear from you. What helps you stay self-motivated? Drop us a comment.
Thanks for tuning in to Fuel from Within. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself.
You got this. Bye, everyone.